we found what we were looking for. Basically, I had a stand somewhat in here last year. I filmed, and it's at a creek crossing, and it's a good quarter mile away from the cornfield down yonder, and that's good. So it's going to let me get in here plenty of time for the deer. And here's what we got. We got several trails coming up out of here, and I bumped the deer up in that bedding area. This thicket in here is covered with deer tracks. I mean, it's just hammered, and it followed this trail. Has numerous deer track on it, and I don't know if you can see this very good, but there was the big timber. Now we're to the east of that timber, so when we have an east wind, it'll be blowing into that timber, into our face. But here's what's really unique. We not only got the timber up there, we got this main trail, and the reason this trail is forced here is because I'll show you here in a second. We go up through here on this trail. The nice drawing point, or the geographical obstruction, is the creek. Okay, it's wash. They're not going to be, they could be walking in the creek, but that's not where they're going to walk. They're going to walk right alongside this creek, paralleling that north-south timber coming back from the cornfield, or wherever they were frolicking at nighttime, and they're funneled up right here with the creek. And like I say, this is a large creek, and so they're going to stay funneled up, and this is what you're looking for. And oh boy, here's what we're really looking for. Yeah, all right. This is why we got that stand there. They tore the heck out of that. That's brand new tear up right there. That's a thornwood tree too, so that must be one badass buck. He tore the limb clear off of it. And, anyhow, they're funneled up, and this is what we were looking for. Now there's the timber. We're going to be in that timber, and the wind's going to be going straight into the timber. So they're not going to know we're even in Dodge, let alone Clark County. But they're coming right down through here. And it's similar to the same setup last year that I went with. But it's real critical that you get an east or southeast wind. Now this trail splits off. One goes that way, one goes that way. Either one of those trails that split off, we've got it covered. They split off and go down this trail. They're not going to cross that steep bank right there unless they're pushed. And they're not going to be pushed in bow hunting season. They're going to come down, and they're going to come down to this flat, because like I said, that's another obstruction. That's vertical right there. They're not going to do that unless 12 gauge gunfire is on the rear end. And they're going to come down and cross. Now, when they do that, we got our stand and those big trees right there. Really going to break up the human silhouette, and the sun will be at our back all day. Now let me step that off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was 10 and 2 farts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically 20 yards. Let's go up there. I want to show you what we got. Okay, now that we're in the stand, that'll be to the east of us. The wind will be coming that direction. Go around the tree here. Where we were just at will be right down in there. That's basically 20 yards. There's 3 trails down there. Comes to a loggerhead. That's what we were looking for. We found that fresh rub. I kicked the deer out up there in that bedding area per se. It's real thick up there. So it'll give us plenty of time to get in here in the morning. Plus, the wind will be coming from the east, right here, southeast. None of it will be going out in front of us. And where the wind will be going, well, it'll be going out in that open pasture. Now, for all you young people and novice hunters, this is, get my hat on straight, this is how you hunt with a bow and an arrow. You don't go by gimmickry to try to disguise your scent through electronics or some kind of device that you plug in. You don't need all that. It's funny what you see on the screen. You don't need all that technical shit, because that's just what it is. Just get your money out of your pocket. Go out, put the shoe leather, the boot leather to the forest floor, read the sign, set up 4 different stands, at least 4 different stands for 4 different winds, and take it as it happens. You're supposed to get busted. That's the challenge. And so many people are so weak in mind and spirit, they just can't handle that they failed. They got busted. Well, thank God, because that's the only defense the deer has. If you want to take that away from them, then don't even bother hunting, because you're not hunting. You're killing. And I don't know how you can look at a trophy on a wall and know you took advantage of all the senses of the animal through this technical electrical scent blocking bullshit, and that's just what it is. And I'll tell them to their face, any place, any day, because how can they even compare that animal to what Mel Johnson did 52 years ago with stick and string? Just out of woodsmanship. Now get back on the woodsmanship bus and throw the technical stuff in the garbage can on Wednesday. Well, maybe you better take it to the recycle. They might have chemicals in it, I don't know. But that's the rant from the non-typical Norwalkian. Do it the way it's supposed to be done, you'll be a whole lot happier, even if you come up short. Well, there you go. East wind stand, bucket 15 yards. You scouted this east wind stand setup with me. I showed you how it was going to work, and it worked perfect. Depends if you wanted to shoot that buck or not. Scouting. Scouting is hunting. When you take the bow to the field, that's sitting, that's killing. But hunting is traversing your territory and finding where the deer movement is, and then going later and sitting there. 2 different things altogether. And you just seen it work twice, last night and this morning. You could have filled your tag. Two different locations entirely. But like I said, this is your east wind setup. Southeast wind, east wind. That buck was to the east of me. Didn't know I was in Clark County. Here's a nice thing to check. You notice that wind is coming right back at the camera. See that? It's not going out there to the trail. It's coming right back at our face. So, works pretty nice that way. They got little cotton fibers, and you can just get baking soda and it'll do the same thing. But that way you know the wind is coming right into the camera, not going out that way. They picked that cornfield last week, so the deer that could have been staying in there ain't going to be in that picked cornfield right now. They're going to be in that timber. That's why we're going to that timber with an east wind, so we can sneak in undetected, get set up on a north-south trail, and see what happens. Here would be a good water source down here. This pond is really secluded, and wouldn't surprise me, I'll kick out a deer. Yeah, nice little hidden, secluded body of water out here. But anyhow, turkey's water here. A lot of stuff can water there and not even be seen. Now when we take this ditch, we should pop out about 60 yards from the stand. So getting in pretty secluded. Haven't dumped anything out of these ditches, that's good. There's a big rub up here on this tree. Two big rubs. Damn it. Another big rub. Well, we made it to the stand. Had the wind in our face the whole way. And this is the east wind stand that we set up the other morning. We had a small buck go through there. So, it's supposed to rain tonight. We got a east, southeast, northeast wind going on right now. But we'll sit back and see what happens. Friday night on the 10th. Cloudy east wind. We moved this stand last Friday over here. The trail was on the back side of the stand, and there's a pretty good rub line there, and I caught a 10-pointer coming down it last Friday night. So we moved it over here, and we haven't hunted it for a week, and we got an overcast, cloudy day. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Anything and nothing can happen. This is the time I really enjoy being in deer woods. You don't know what you're going to see. So let's sit back and enjoy the show and see what comes about. We only got a short 3 hours and it'll be dark. See what I told you? That's 2:15. That doe's up on her feet already. This is the time of year to sit all day. If you have the right conditions, this is the time of year to sit all day. goes to show you. He's right by the tree that I moved the stand out of a week ago. Small buck, but still a buck nevertheless. Well, if you hunt long enough, you'll have that happen to you. It's not my first time that happened. That's why I'm always sort of apprehensive about moving a stand. Your so-called onboard computer tells you where to put it on your first intake of the area. And then I found that rub line last Friday, and then I seen a 10-point buck on that last Friday. And they took the fence up here is knocked down, so they're going to it at a different angle. And so I moved the stand last Friday night. And here it is a week later, that small buck walked right on the east side of those trees. Then I moved that stand in and right across that creek at that crossing. Had that been a big buck, that's what you carry Kleenex for. That and a friggin' head cold. Never had a cold, ever. Why I've ever hunted, I've never had a runny nose. And that's the first time for everything. That's why I moved this stand. He would have winded me. Even with cow shit on and that ain't no bullshit. Remember that rub last Friday? Here it comes. This is why we put this stand over here. Two of them. Both of those deer were 10 yards behind me, straight downwind. And you see them walk right on through there. So, but keep in mind, this is Iowa. And other areas of the country aren't going to have that caliber of bucks to pass up. I'm not doing this because I want to be a some kind of a super asshole. I'm just doing this because I set my benchmark and I'm going to hold to it. And like I say, Iowa's 135 inches minimum, 10 inches over the national Pope and Young of 125. So I could have filled my tag several times now. And that rubbing on that tree that we found together last Friday night, here it is a week later, buck rubbing on it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really something to find that sign, and then a week later actually see a buck using that rub. I don't know how many of you, I see them make new rubs, but not like a rub line rub, and work it in the daylight. That was pretty cool. Glad to share it with you. And just loving every minute of it. Oh, by the way, as years change, travel patterns change. The fence being down up here is just like the humans go the easiest route. I don't know how many stealth camera pictures I used to get of deer jumping over that fence. Well, now they don't jump over the fence. Fence is knocked down and cattle come through. So they just go through the hole in the fence. Something you might want to consider to set up on, because you just seen two bucks walk right through that least resistance. They didn't have to jump anything. They just walked through the opening. Now with that said, that travel pattern down here has changed. It went from the east out in front of me to the west behind me. It makes it an easier route for them. Now, you got to keep your eyes open. Something's always telling you something. Always telling you something. One other thing. Those two bucks came through at 4 o'clock. We were on stand at 2. So we were only 2 hours away from shooting a buck if you wanted to. Anyhow, this time of year, stay on stand as much as you physically and possibly can. He's gone right through that hole in the fence. Right there. Used to be a fence. That's how they changed their travel pattern. You got to be aware and alert for that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Those two mature bucks, they could have been breeder bucks. If they came through that area, there must not be any does up there. So they pretty much well gleaned it. And I'm going to take a chance of getting down. It's 4:30. And if I blow it, I blow it. But the thing is, I'm going to have to move that stand for the 1, 2, 3 times. Because now I had a visual of actual deer travel through this area. I could wait to get dark, but I want to do some scouting real quick and find a tree and get the stand up there. So let's get down, get to work. Okay, right here is where the fence is now. And this is where they're going to cross. So now, Like I said, there's the fence post, old fence post. Here's the trail going right down through here. That's what put them clear back behind me. So now we're going to try to get a tree up here so we can get that stand. We're on top of the dam now. Okay, we got the stand up, partially up. I'll have to come back and finish it tomorrow.